On the second night of a back-to-back, the Raptors fall just short against the Dallas Mavericks. 103-95 is your final. I'm Randy Urban, and this is Raptors Night Cap. And it's a pleasure, as always, to be joined by the crew, Jack Armstrong, Leo Rautins, and Paul Jones. Fellas, how you feeling today?
Probably better than the Raptors after the second part of that back-to-back. Right?
Yeah. Jack, I'll start with you here. Luka Doncic, almost a triple-double. What makes him so tough to stop? Break it down a little bit for the people. There's obviously so many things.
Well, a few things. Number one, he loves playing with you. So, in other words, he loves seeing that second defender come his way. He's a great passer. He's strong. He can see over and through the defense. He's got a tremendous handle. He can make all the shots. I think that's a big part of it. And, you guys notice, in this league, when you have a guy that can bring to you, and it's 4-on-3 somewhere else, other guys become better players. And I think not having Pascal Siakam tonight, you kind of saw that in the Raptors' half-court offense. They had Doncic, and the Raptors don't have that guy right now. And Fred VanVleet and Anunoby played well.
Yeah.
But having that other guy that really defenses go, geez, I almost slipped. You got to stop that guy. It changes things.
I thought in the second half in particular, kind of late second quarter, mid-second quarter, second half, Luka got going, and he was attracting defenders, and now they're kicking the ball around, and they know who the next best shooter is. Ball was zipping around. You can't outrun the ball. It gets to Tim Hardaway Jr., and he's knocking down shots. Luka's feeling it. And I always say this. Confidence in a basketball game is like money in a poker game. It's a zero-sum game. When one team has a lot, another has a little. And at the beginning of the game, the Raptors had it, and Dallas didn't. And then the momentum started to turn. And the Mavs had it. Luka's getting going. He's making shots and looking at his hands. He's talking to people in the stands. And the Raptors come down, and they're kind of like trying to get it all back at one time. I just thought the game flipped. And the second half was classic back-to-back.
Yeah.
Your legs, they were outscored by like almost 20 points at one juncture in the second half.
Yeah.
And I know it's something we talk about and people say it's mental. It is mental, but it is physical too. Yeah.
Well, it's the little things too, like, what against Boston, right? Rebounding, second chance. That was all a big factor. Right, you look in this game, even when the Raptors are rolling, what was Dallas doing? Getting the offensive glass, right? They were doing a great job of rebounding and hanging around because of that. And then, like I said, you let a team hang around, then a guy like Luka gets it going. Because I thought, if you watched their last game against Atlanta, he was so passive. Like he looked disinterested in the game. And early in this game, you're going, all right, is this another game like that? But then he picks it up.
Here's my thought on that, Leo. And you guys know this. Jack, you in particular as a coach. Leo, you too as a coach. One of the ways to keep a guy kind of off his game, not necessarily what you do at the offensive end. To me, Luka's in a category maybe like LeBron, where you're going to run. I don't know if there's a defense that he hasn't seen. So you get to him on the other end, and I thought the Raptors did a good job early of engaging him, going at him, scoring. He's off balance. He's kind of, they're coming at me, and then all of a sudden he got his legs in the middle of the second quarter. The Raptors didn't go at him as much, and now he's figured it out, and you're in trouble.
I just want to say, I was a coach too, so I know I got singled out last time not being a basketball player. But I appreciate you. Anyway,
I sense some insecurity here. Are you okay?
Yeah,
hey.
I'm good.
Do you need a moment?
Last week you didn't recognize me as a basketball player.
Leo didn't. I just didn't recognize you as a coach.
We love you, man.
We love you.
We love you just the way you are. I think that's a song, Billy Joel.
All good, Randall.
It is.
Hey, you want some sushi?
I don't eat sushi. By the way, we got to get some cheese on the set here.
Hey, feed my guys.
Sushi, I don't eat that. The only seafood I eat is Swedish fish. You ever had the little red candies?
And we got the wings that I can't eat on camera unless you want to see them all over my face.
Cheese and crackers for me will be perfect.
I had a few.
Jack, we didn't have any food last time. This is good. We're getting better.
Maybe a slice of pizza.
You got a blue cup, Jack, so you're good.
All right, let's move on. OG Anunoby really has found his touch, his shot after this game, which is great to see because he struggled, obviously, in the first two games. But, Jack, where do you think his game is at now? Where do you see the biggest signs of improvement?
I think when he lets the game come to him, he's an improved player. I thought in the first two games he was trying to be something that he isn't. And I think he's a guy that when he has space to work with and he lets the game come to him and he picks his spots, he's fine. He's more than fine. He's really good. We saw that in preseason, and I think we saw that again tonight. And to me, I like, the big challenge for the Raptors right now. This was a night more than anything of the first 3 games I look at. They really missed Pascal Siakam tonight. They got bogged down in the half-court game tonight.
Yeah.
When the game slowed down, they struggled generating stuff, good stuff. And, it's different playing from behind a little bit. The second unit guys, when they had to make pressure plays, pressure shots, they couldn't do it.
And we always say this, it's important to play with the lead, with that buffer. And again, Luka gets going. It's tough to turn Luka over, right? And the Raptors generate a lot of offense from their defense. They get turnovers. They run out. They have 49 turnovers of their opponents in the first 2 games. And then Luka gets going mid-second quarter, third quarter. He's handling the ball. He's making the decisions. You're not turning.
And you know what else he's doing too, Jones? He's slowing the game down because he's pounding, right? Luka just slows the game down. And so what happens is now you're defending, you're chasing, and you want to go.
He's got the tempo.
But he's got the tempo.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Going back to OG real quick, Leo, do you think he can be the type of player that can get anything he wants? Like, is he on that trajectory?
He's on that trajectory, but I think it's really important to realize the things that have to happen. You got to be consistent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, number one, you look at, you don't want to take yourself out of the game with fouls. And there were some fouls in this game where he took himself out of the game. You really got to be aware of that, because if you want to continue to rise and be a factor offensively and contribute where you need to contribute, you've got to stay on the floor.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's a tough task because he's asked to guard really good players. But that's part of that role. And then offensively, you could see that once he's got his confidence, he really believes he can do a lot of different things. So keep that confidence, but stay on the floor to do it.
Yeah.
He's improving.
Yeah.
Very much. He's
For sure.
very much improving.
Oh, he looks different to me. Like, I know we didn't always see the results in the first 2 games, but he does look different.
No, he's an improved player.
Yeah. Jonesy, but going back to what you were saying earlier about how they, slowing down Doncic and getting out in the run. Look, there were still moments in this game and glimpses that this team is showing a lot of resiliency of bending, not breaking. Obviously they gave up the lead and all that kind of stuff, but for a young team, does that surprise you? Because they are showing a lot of gumption.
It doesn't, Randall, because one of their foundational principles is we're going to play hard.
Yeah.
And when you play hard, good things happen. And you're never out of a game. I mean, even late in the game here, they're down, 13, 14 points. I see people getting up and leaving. Hey, they put 2 or 3 hoops together. They cut the thing down to 10. Jason Kidd's got to call a timeout. They just keep coming at you. So it doesn't surprise me, because that's an expectation. And when you do that, sometimes things work. A lot of times things work out for you.
By the way, speaking of momentum, you made the point during the broadcast. I thought Jason Kidd did a great job making sure they keep momentum when he challenged that one call.
Yeah.
Right? He just it's early. Why do you challenge it? Because we're rolling.
It's
right now.
tied at 62 when he makes that challenge.
Yeah.
And then they take the lead.
Yep.
And they never let the lead go. So
it's just feel.
Yeah, it is.
Great feel and understanding of the game at the moment.
Anybody else impress you, Jack?
With the Raptors?
Yeah.
I thought Fred VanVleet laid it on the line tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, he was exhausted. And I thought, I joked on the air because I used to say it about Lowry all the time. There's a difference between highway miles and city miles.
Yeah.
Tonight, I mean, Fred VanVleet had to he was all over the place. He made, I think, 4 shots tonight where the Raptors offense was just laboring on the ropes, and he made shots that just keep them in it. Honestly, they really missed Siakam tonight.
Yeah.
They got to get better at their half-court execution, the quality of shots. I thought Gary Trent really struggled tonight. They need more from him. Boucher, quite frankly, had a disappointing night tonight. Some of his shots were not very good. Birch seems a little reluctant. They need a little more from him. That 5 spot's going to be a work in progress.
I thought Precious was good tonight.
Yeah,
he played with a lot of energy.
He plays
putbacks.
hard.
Yeah, he does play hard.
He's not polished yet, but I like. He's got a lot of potential, and I love the edge he plays with.
What about Dragic and his leadership? There were moments in the game where he was trying to fire up his team. I mean,
his value isn't just being on the floor.
Yeah.
His value is, in the locker room, on the sideline, and I thought he showed a lot of that, right? Yeah. But because you got to remember, he's in the twilight of his career, right? So he's not always going to be able to give it to you on the floor. and it's really important that he has those moments to step up like that.
You know, I made this point. You know, when you get Siakam back, I think everyone moves down a peg.
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think this is a good team. I just think when you ask people to do maybe a little bit, tonight was a good opponent that got embarrassed by Atlanta, and
we're waiting for them here while
Yes,
they were in Boston.
correct.
These guys were here last night, stewing over the beating they got in Atlanta.
I tell you, these next 3 games are big because at home you got to get 2 or 3 of them because you play 11 of the next 14 on the road.
I want to touch on the back-to-back a little bit, though. Like a lot of people know, okay, well, they're professional athletes, they make all this money and stuff, but your body just does not respond the same way the second night, right?
It doesn't. And I mean, some of that is mental. I mean, Raptors, when the years they won the championship in building, they were really good on the second nights. And that was because they took the mental approach that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how rough the water is. Get the ship in. Get this done. And they also had a more veteran team. And I think those things helped them out. Tonight, as I said, a classic back-to-back loss. Come out in the first quarter full of energy. Okay, we got this. And they're up big in the first quarter. They're up 4 at halftime. Okay, like, you know, we're okay. Something happens. You go sit in the locker room and you carry a piano out of the locker room on your back, and then you're done. And you're done.
That's a great analogy.
You could just see it in the third quarter. And they, you know,
Like Devlin carrying this guy, though.
Well, that's a fact.
you know, Dwayne Casey used to say, "Running in mud." Like you're trying, you're doing your
Jonesy,
best, but you're not moving
to
anywhere.
your point, though, here they got it to 2 points at the end of the third. You know, with that lob pass, VanVleet.
Yeah.
To Precious.
Achua.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of times, as we know, a dunk just gets everyone ramped up. And I thought they'd really build on that, but give Dallas credit. That's a heck of a road win for them.
Yeah. All right, guys, great stuff. I was just kidding, Jack. Gotta stop you there.
Okay.
Gotta stop you there. Next game for the Raptors, Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right back here at Scotiabank Arena against the Chicago Bulls. Gonna be a good one. We'll see you then.
Are you okay, Randy?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Coach Randy, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Thank you.
I'm worried about you.
Thank you.
Coach Randall?
I'm
Really
good.
worried about you.